This is the Basilica de Guadalupe and El Papa Juan Pablo statue monument. La Basilica de Guadalupe, the church. Alright guys, so this is the Amputee Mom Blog and we're here at the Basilica de Guadalupe with all my family members. We are gonna start walking up the hill. There's a ramp to go all the way up there. There's a bunch of little steps, but we have the baby stroller, so that's not possible. So this is the beginning. We're gonna go all the way up there. My leg is feeling good, and there's parking space available everywhere, so I didn't really have to walk that far. Pictures, Coco, pictures. So far. So inside the actual church, you get to see the original cloak of the Virgen de Guadalupe, and to me this was the highlight of the trip. You get to walk through it and view it up very close. After viewing the cloak, we did not stay for mass and we continued our way up the hill before they closed. And so as you guys can see, I did not take the hill with no stairs because stairs are preferable when you're below the knee amputee. It just makes it easier to walk up. I would say it took us around 15 minutes to reach all the way at the top of the hill. And this is where the Virgin Mary supposedly appeared to Juan Diego, and so there's another church when you reach the top. So going all the way to the top of the hill rewards you with an awesome view of Mexico City. So here we are, guys, and all the way at the top is, like I said, that little church. It's like a museum. I believe they do not hold mass there. They just for people to view. This is where the Virgin Mary was heard by Juan Pablo. And this is where she took the roses to show them to the Pope. And this is why they made this temple here, after they heard her voice and we seen her in San Diego's clock. So on these portraits, it kind of just shows how the people from Spain back in the day arrived to Mexico and they converted all the Aztecs and the Indians to the Catholic religion. All right, guys, so another thing, it gets really sweaty and my prosthetic liner is made out of gel, so I need to take off all the liquid off after I walk for so far and dry my leg and put it back on because my prosthetic just kind of like shakes everywhere. So short and blue. The way down is not all bad. Ramps, everything accessible to grab on. Just like maybe 10 minutes to get down. And that was pretty much a wrap at the Basilica de Guadalupe. And like I mentioned before, I usually, I took the stairs because it's just easier as a below the knee amputee to always use the stairs instead of hills. And so if you guys ever do plan on going, the Basilica and the Mass, I believe, starts at 7 a.m. And if you want to climb up the hill and view the actual temple, you have to get there before 5 p.m. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to climb up the hill. Only view the Virgin Mary cloak at the church, but you will not be able to go to the top. And on another day, we went to the pyramids of Teotihuacan, and yes, it includes a lot of walking, even more so than the Basilica de Guadalupe. It also has accessible parking for handicap, so you wouldn't have to walk long distances on that part. But the actual museum and all the pyramids are so separated from each other that you have to do a lot of walking. At the actual museum, you see this little setup that shows you how the pyramids used to be back in the day. So I thought that was pretty cool. So many interesting things to view at the museum. It's all about the Aztecs and the pyramids, and it is also free if you are Mexican. You didn't have to pay. And if you are not Mexican, I believe the fee is like 100 pesos, which is equivalent to like around $5 or so. Guys, so this is an activity that involves so much walking that you have to be prepared for it. I did not do that much walking, especially because I had the baby stroller and it was hard to navigate it from point A to point B. But it was a very nice place to view, and just sitting there contemplating the scenery was beautiful. So I was mentally prepared to record myself climbing the Pyramid of the Sun all the way up. Before years ago, you could do that. Now the pyramids are deteriorating and they do not let people climb the main Pyramid of the Sun. And those are some pictures of me back in 2012 when I first climbed the Pyramid of the Sun with my cousins. So after we were done from exploring the pyramids and the museums, we went to eat at La Cueva, a Mexican restaurant that is about 15 minutes away from the pyramids of Teotihuacan. And guys, let me tell you that I rate this restaurant a 10 out of 10. Everything that all my family chose to buy was very delicious. The meat, everything was great. It was all typical Mexican dishes, especially from that part of Mexico. And it was a really good choice. When you're eating, then they start with the Aztec ritual and they do that little dance, and it gets very fun to watch. So my favorite part about that day was definitely getting my ritual cleanse, and this was basically just to attract positive vibes for yourself. So that was pretty cool. I've never done that before. And also I wanted to mention that since I didn't walk that much during the pyramids, like I didn't actually travel from one pyramid to the other, and I just basically sat at the Pyramid of the Sun, my leg at the end wasn't really hurting, so I was able to enjoy the rest of the day without any pain. Otherwise, if I would have walked more or farther distances, then I would have probably been in pain by the time of the day. So after dinner, my family and I initiated a drive back to Washington, Iowa from the state of Mexico, which is around 36-hour drive. So our first rest stop was in Querétaro, which is 3 hours away from the pyramids. It was a nice, clean, and decent spot. I totally recommend downtown Querétaro, and that was a wrap for that day. Thank you guys for watching, and catch you guys later.